Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are having a fucking blast already. Before we started recording, Ed has officially checked in. Ding, ding, he's on the clock. So let's get right into it. We're going to talk favorite segment, movie of the week. Shaggy brought us his pick last week, and with 'tis the season, and I want to say just to start that it was probably my second all-time favorite Christmas movie. Yeah, just great pick. Christmas Vacation, National Lampoon's. Let's start with the professor. Thomas, let's talk some Christmas Vacation. What do you got?
Well, out of all the vacation movies, I think this is probably my favorite. And it's just a hilarious movie. We always talk about quotables. This thing has about a million of these things that we quote and quite often. And I mean, quick synopsis: the Griswold family's plans for a big family Christmas at home goes predictably bad. The cast is awesome. I mean, I think Beverly D'Angelo is a perfect fit to play like the straight wife to Chevy Chase's craziness. And I think the cast, the supporting cast, is kind of underappreciated. I mean, Randy Quaid stole the movie, I thought, with Uncle Eddie, and then you've got Juliette Lewis, who went on to big things, Johnny Galecki, Julie Louis-Dreyfus, and then actually our number one fan, Darren. I was talking to him tonight about it, and he was telling me that the woman who plays Aunt, what's her name? Aunt Betsy, I believe her name is. Oh, Bethany. I'm sorry, Aunt Bethany.
Bethany.
She
Betty
played.
Boop.
She was the voice for Betty Boop and
Betty
Oliver.
Boop, yeah.
I know
Oh,
that.
no kidding.
So that I thought that was pretty cool. But overall, I'm giving it a 7.5. I thought it was great, and it's a Christmas movie, but I watch it all the time. I've probably watched that thing probably 10 times a year.
So Shaggy, you it was your pick this week. So bring us up to date on all things Christmas Vacation.
Well, sorry, watched it twice this week already. And yeah, like you said, the supporting cast is unbelievable. Guys, people you mentioned also like Carl Reiner, huge comedian. The mother from Everybody Loves Raymond. I can't think of her name, but she was on there too.
Robert. Yep.
Yeah, like it was crazy how many people are actually in this movie. But yeah, I watch it. Like I said, don't even have to be Christmas time. I watch it all the time. It's a classic. I'm going to probably give it the same thing, about 7.5 also.
One watch, everybody knows the rules, right? So for me, I love this movie. Out of the vacation movies, it's probably, if not the best one, next to the original. It's timeless. You can watch it all the time. Try to go back and watch these movies when you guys pick them and give it a fresh set of eyes on it after all these years. See if it's still watchable. Of course, this movie's watchable. Like the professor said, quotable. So many parodies of this movie. People have taken Christmas decorations and actually, parodied the setup of the house and all these little certain things that are nuances of this movie. So for me, there's certain parts that as you get older, like when he gets stuck in the attic and he finds all the 8mm film and you go back and you watch it. As a kid, when you see that, I don't think it has the same effect as when you're older and you watch it. You're like, wow, that moment kind of hits home, even though he's killing time because he's stuck up there. But great little things that are timeless about this movie. The Hawaiian Christmas song. How many times do you hear that because of this movie? You never really heard that often before this movie, but now it's it's staple on those Christmas playlists. So for me, I'm going to give it watchable, quotable, still relevant. So for me, I'm going to rate it a little higher probably than you guys, 7.9 for me. Phantom, what do you got?
I'm right in line with you guys. Shitter's full. Super funny. It's definitely one of my Christmas movies that I watch every December. Find time to watch it. Randy Quaid,
Dolan.
so funny. I'm right around line with you guys. I'm probably in the middle, probably 7.7, but it's Yeah, it's outstanding. I saw a thing that they were saying that the house is that house that they're in the movie has been used in like a lot of different stuff like American Beauty and WandaVision more recently. I guess it's the same house from when they had like their 50s version when the show first started.
Mm.
So that's something I had not noticed when like watching WandaVision, but yeah, definitely outstanding. Must watch. I don't think that's like a movie that I don't know too many people that are gonna be like that's a stinker.
Yeah, it's a good pick, Shaggy. Bradford, time to check in. Let's
Oh
go.
yeah, I've been waiting for this one. Holiday film, classic. We watch it at least a half a dozen times every Christmas. Now, using y'all's newly established quotable scale of rating movies, I don't see how you guys aren't giving this a 10 because this is the most quotable movie. It gets quoted year round. That's y'all's scale, though. Hey, I'll take it for what it is. On just a normal movie rating, no, definitely not a 10. Um, the lore behind this movie, you guys know I'm big on lore of movies.
Loves the
So
law.
Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo, Randy Quaid, and the lady that plays his Quaid's wife, the aunt. Those four, anytime they're in the Lampoon movies, they're always the same. But they always change the kids, which I think is hilarious because the kids always stay young. You know what I mean? They recently, I think a few years ago, they did like an Old Navy commercial. They brought all the people back. Johnny Galecki, Juliette Lewis, all of them were all in the commercial. So that was pretty cool. The soundtrack for this film is actually pretty incredible. This comes from that era of movies where they had great writing, there's an all-star cast, they had an original score, great songs. But while I was reading online, they never actually released a soundtrack to this film. At one point, one dropped, but it was like a bootleg or some shit, but people still bought it up. But I don't think it ever got like an official soundtrack release. Maybe modern times maybe there's one like on Spotify for it now or something like that, but it never had like an album actually released of the soundtrack, which is a shame because Andy, you said it, man. There's some incredible holiday bangers on that soundtrack. Just the opening song, the Christmas Vacation song, gets stuck in your head just on repeat, man. Great cast, great movie. I can watch this movie over and over and over again. Never gets old. I give it an 8.2. That's kind of high, but I mean, I love this movie. So I was really excited when you guys picked it.
Before we
Great
get on, one of the favorite scenes that just popped in my head when we were talking about the soundtrack because of the Hawaiian Christmas song. The part when Randy Quaid is on the diving board.
With the
He's got
flippers.
he's got the t-shirt tucked into the Speedo and is hanging out the leg holes. I mean, how more classic is that? I mean, you see that and you're like, man, it's just comedy gold. Certain things just hit with a certain generation, and the pain in the ass parents on her side. Clark can never do nothing right, which he can't. But it's just there's so many little things about that movie that's great. So Ed, we're kicking it to you to finish this review, and plus you're gonna pick next week's movie. But first, take it away, Ed.
All right, well, I'm going to have to just say this. Definitely quotable, timeless classic. It can go anywhere because there's so many things. Anybody that's ever been married, we all know, like, hanging lights is an experience with your significant other. That always creates a little friction there. And the whole thing about with the movies in the attic, it's kind of one of those things that as we all get older, one of the main reasons why we started this podcast is to make sure that we have stuff to remember each other by. That ties that in there as well. So many quotable things with Uncle Eddie, with shirts full, that type of thing. One of the funniest things is that I don't know if a lot of people know, but Chevy Chase actually read that whole diatribe that he went down off of a script behind everybody, and you can see him; his eyes are kind of reading it as he's doing it. So that's a little piece of tidbit of information. I mean, but part of it is just like, we're talking about the cast members, how the kids never get older. I mean, look at Anthony and Michael Hall, like the movies that he did in that time frame. He probably got a little bit too big to be playing the Rusty, So I mean, it's kind of one of those things where that he probably, because I mean, it was what Johnny Be Good, Breakfast Club, all that and that type of thing. John Hughes had a big hand in this movie as well. I believe that he wrote a script for National Lampoons. I think it was, I forget the name of it, but this was based off of a small little snippet of that. So, I mean, bottom line is, I'm going to say strong 7.5. Probably needs like at least one paper towel on the top. Timeless classic. It's a great movie.
So, Ed, before we get your pick, no lead in this week from you about the store.
Well, I mean, you didn't say anything, so I didn't say anything. You didn't give me a lead in, so we just went with it. We just went.
I dropped
Hey,
the
Ed,
ball.
I got you. Buy a shirt.
Yeah, don't be
Don't be
cheap.
cheap.
Look,
Don't be
drop
cheap.
the logo in, Andy, right here.
Yeah, and buy a great T-shirt for Christmas for Brad. We got all kinds of stuff. Just dropped the new T-shirt this week. Go and check that out. Wrestling related. So, Tom, what do we got for a final score on Christmas Vacation?
7-7.
7-7. Not bad. Not bad.
Captain Raybork.
Oh, Paul Coffey.
Ooh.
All coffee, yeah.
Paul Coffey.
Not a captain.
But I do believe that three out of the 6 people here bought one of his sticks though and played with it for quite a while.
Great stick. Great
Very
stick.
much so.
Ed, everybody's in suspense. What is your pick for next week? What is the homework?
Well.
Oh, geez.
Baseballs.
Don't
I'm
say
going to
baseball.
stick with a Christmas theme here.
Don't say baseball.
We're not
I'll
doing
say Spaceballs.
No,
We
we're not.
scorches with you.
No, I thought long and hard about this. I had many trips back and forth between Tallahassee and Pensacola this week. So I said, Self, which one should we pick? Should we go with a timeless classic that has Ralphie in it? I was like, I'm gonna go a little Lee Corso here myself right now. Not so fast, my friend. So I went with something that is the great debate. Is this really a classic Christmas movie or not?
Oh,
Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Die Hard.
All right. Oh, let's go. All right. Nakatomi Plaza. Here we go. Get us.
I got a prediction that there's not going to be one pick below a 9 on that. Just saying.
Well, Die Hard is not Shawshank. So let's just put that on the table.
It's no Rogue One either, right, Brad? It's
Bro,
Rogue
not even close. Not even close.
So, listen, Brad, we gotta bring this to your attention. The professor got all fucked up with that initial. We had to go and blast it last week in two different scores. One for Shawshank and then one for the correction. You fucking with us with your score. So, Thomas, you want to explain to Brad what the dilemma was?
Well, I thought he was a quarterback. He started just throwing out all these numbers at 6'6", 5'2", 8'9", 10. I was waiting for the hike. So, I divided it by 12 because he threw out 6 other numbers. So
For what movie?
Rogue One. No, what was it?
No.
Shawshank.
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 I don't even remember what I said.
So we've been corrected. So we had to update the score on the podcast last week we're trying to keep this legit. So people watch this. We want them to know that at least we might not know a lot of things, but movies are definitely one of the things that I think we can kind of put a badge on that we have the merit badge for movies, I will say, and the ticket stubs to prove it. So let's move on from talking movies. And we waited. We didn't have Brad last week. I had to put the
Andy, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Now, Brad was out. I'm like, Brad's a superstar. Brad was out last week.
Yep.
Numbers stink the place out last week. The viewers need to step up their game. I'm like, damn, Brad must make a big fucking difference. Fucks up the scores, but we need him. And then I started thinking about it. He didn't even watch it because he wasn't on it. So now I'm starting to think when he's on it, he watches it 50 times.
Could be. Possibly. And
Brad's his own #1 fan.
Game tape.
Hey, someone's got to get those views up.
Let's go, buddy.
I don't care who does it. I'm just glad somebody does it. If I engaged a little bit on the YouTube channel with Darren, And I said, listen, Darren, when you watch it, if you just do your movie review, put in your score, and then it'll probably entice other people if you want to chime in and you watch the podcast and we talk about a certain and you don't agree, put your score in. Or if you do agree, throw your score in. Say this is Darren from Marion. My score is 7-7. And there you go. And
Shoot it in the comments.
Yeah, drop your movie score in the comments. If I disagree and I think you're an idiot, I'm going to roast you in the comments, period.
Very good.
Said he's not leaving nothing. You don't have him on the podcast anymore.
I'm going to light him up.
He's up for the highest bidder right now. I've seen him on a couple podcasts now.
Chris, I talked to Chris too this week, and he'll be back on pretty soon. So let's move on. Let's start talking something that we held off last week talking about. I had to put the Phantom on silent for our Survivor Series talk. So Bradford.
Well, that's because you were in the bathroom. That's why.
Yeah, well, that's true. I
Hey, that was a good place because in a lot of the matches you're gonna fucking flush it down the toilet.
Consider it full.
Listen, that Survivor Series sucked.
It was so bad.
The one of their main pillars of pay-per-views for wrestling in the WWF, that I have a problem with the format of War Games. I'm a traditionalist, as you know, when it comes to my wrestling. There should be no open air cage. It should be a sealed cage. That way there's no Bronson Reed jumping off the top. No injury. No crapola. Now, why are the guys in a shark cage to start?
Yeah.
You got one cage of guys and another cage. That's like wearing a hat with another hat on top of it. It's just stuff you don't do. The old War Games, you had two doors, one on one side, one on the other. Good guys on one side, bad guys on the other side. If we're talking psychology here, that War Games match. So you got two villains. We'll dumb it down. We won't say heels. Two villains beating up.
Brad, you okay? Brad, you having a stroke?
Wait, hold on.
No, not
Brad,
yet.
Looks like he's having a
he's
stroke.
enamored. He's enamored with the commentary. So
Yeah, I'm listening to Andy.
think about it like this. In a real fight, you got two guys beating up one guy. Two villains beating up your babyface hero. Why the fuck, when the alarm goes off for your hero to come in and make a save, why would you stop and go into the ring and grab something out of the ring to bring in? You would just
Every single person does it.
there and start clearing house, right? To help your buddy. So if Brad's getting his ass kicked and then Ed's waiting to come in, me and Ryan are putting the boots to Brad because he doesn't come on the podcast as often anymore. Taking heat from the wife. We're putting the boots to him. The alarm goes off for Ed to come out. The door opens and Ed's got to grab 3 tables before he comes in and makes the save. What sense does that make? The only psychology that made any sense was when the Punk and Roman Reigns thing. That was the best thing about the psychology about you're not going. Sammy, you go. That makes sense. And then where Punk barrel ass by him so he couldn't go. That makes sense.
Yep.
Pulling shit under. You're already in a cage. What do you need a table for? A toolbox. As much as I like Punk, you had your moment with the toolbox. Let's move on. Bradford, save me from my diatribe.
No, I'm so glad we all agree that was a shitty, piss poor version of a PLE. People pay good money for those seats, good money for their Peacock subscriptions, and we got that bullshit. The women's match alone, I literally lost count of all the botches. So I don't know,
Shots.
bro. I don't know what happened with this PLE because it was so hyped up all year because we thought we were going to get New Bloodline versus OG Bloodline, The Rock. We're going to get all these people, all these players, all these things are about to go down because last year's they set the bar really freaking high with Randy Orton's return, Punk's return. It was off the chain. But this one fell flat so bad. Now, maybe it's because they had Bad Blood, which they brought back for the first time in how many years? and then they had Crown Jewel, then they had this, and then they had to save some matches for Saturday night main event. So maybe it's just a matter of having too much shit in a short time frame. I don't know. But also, Cody Rhodes hasn't defended his title in like the last 3 PLEs, which is fucking dumb if you're the champion. Why isn't there a feud? Why isn't he defending? He's not doing shit. Every now and then he gets a match with Carmelo, don't miss, whatever the fuck his name is, on SmackDown, and it's fucking stupid. It makes 0 sense. And then LA Knight, who has been working his fucking ass off, loses to Shinsuke Nakamura, which I'm not mad at losing to Nakamura because that guy's also been working his ass off. But dude comes back, and 2 weeks later, he takes a title from LA Knight. And LA Knight worked for months with this Logan Paul angle to win that shit. Makes 0 fucking sense. The high flying stunts in the men's match were so stupid and unnecessary, did not further the match or the plot points whatsoever. And now we lost 2 big names. Jimmy Uso broke his toe. Bronson Reed broke his ankles. Big boy's going to be, when you're that big and you break your ankles, dog, you're not coming back for at least 6 months. Like, you're going to be down for the count. Such a heartbreaking, man. And so I also read online that The Rock came back in Bad Blood purely for a PR stunt. WWE had 0 interest in like booking or furthering that story past him just walking out for Bad Blood. So I'm like, why the fuck did you do that? Why didn't you show up? The Rock coming out for Survivor Series would have been epic. Would have been absolutely epic. Would have brought the house down. It would have saved a very mediocre PLE. And dog, if I paid money to go see that live, I legit would be writing WWE for a refund. The Braun Breaker match was good. Wait, was that on there? Yeah. Braun Breaker. I'm a big fan of him, so it's hard for me not to like his matches right now. That match was good, but the rest of it, man, I was severely let down that I went and wasted my time to watch that shit.
Phantom?
I'm in line with you guys. I'm watching it, and it's like the whole. What's that?
What was that? The fuck was that?
What the hell was that? The whole time I'm watching it, I'm like literally booking on the fly. Like as I'm watching stuff happen, and I'm like, they had what they could have. They could have had a decent spot with like Tiffy.
Yeah.
And she pulls the belt out of the trash can. She got both champions down. I'm like, oh, she should lay across both of them and win both belts at one time. Make something epic that's never happened before. Do something a little bit with that. And they got all those intercontinental belts coming out, so they could have some other titles for the other ladies or whatever. But nope, they dropped the ball with that. Then when they're doing the thing in the men's, you got Punk and Roman playing their games with each other as they're all coming out, and they're the last 2 in the fucking cage, the small cage that's useless. They should have those guys straight fighting each other locked in that one small cage while the main match is going on in the other cage, and then from there you got Roman and Punk that would make tons of money rolling into whatever pay-per-view you're going to go into next.
It's
It's going to happen.
Yeah, it's
Probably
so
going to end up turning on one of them, and that's going to be his favor. Probably that's what.
You can see the writing on the wall on it with it for sure.
Yeah.
But I was thinking the same thing as Andy. It was like they got him in this fucking shot cage. They got just 2 guys in there. Let them stop fucking fighting in there for the minute and 30 or whatever the time is that they're waiting for the next guy to come out. That'd have been kick ass.
At least Punk, when he came out, he went off script and attacked the new bloodline, and that was kind of fun. But like, yeah, dude, like, why the fuck you in a cage if you're not going to use that to your advantage?
Even the fact, like you were saying, Brad. So the old bloodline ends up winning, which is like you got.
But where do they go now? Where do they go now, bro?
Right? Why are you not building them up? You got the 2 lower brothers. They're 2 clowns. It's like they take away from all the strength. They're not doing anything with those guys.
Oh,
like,
Tonga Loa tore his bicep. Tonga Loa tore his bicep. He's out.
Yeah,
another wasted injury.
I mean, I would have had them win, and then at the end when they all line up together and Solo Sikoa does his little thing like I'm the top guy. Then you have the Rock's music hit, Have Raw
Boom.
come out, come walking up to him, put the hand out like this, and make him give him the Ula follow like I'm the head of the table, and then game on going forward.
Bro, that would have been epic. I would have shit my pants.
It's just bad. I'm like, they
Yeah.
book better than AEW does, but sometimes it's like, come on, man,
Bro.
like,
Yeah,
not that
right
hot.
now it's a mess, dude. It's a mess.
When we talk about women's wrestling, we all know how we feel on that scale of what's what with Monday women's wrestling. But I was thinking of something that I want to have on the podcast as part of recorded going forward. I watch a lot of these shoot interviews over the years. I was, like I said before, I was looking into it when they first came out, and you were peeling back the layers of stories of pre-kayfabe and all that other stuff. Now, they've had, like, on the Stone Cold podcast, a bunch of Hall of Famers, and a lot of times Austin will ask them who's on their Mount Rushmore of wrestling. Do you know not one of those motherfuckers ever mentions a female? They never say, like, oh yeah, I'm putting Moolah on there, or I'm putting Trish Stratus on there. No, it's like Hogan, Flair, it's Rock, Austin, nobody ever. So what does that tell you about the state of, even the best is never going to be money drawing. Nobody pays to go see a woman's main event, and it's sorry as it is, nobody pays to see that. So until they define that into its own thing, like Glow was, it's a waste of time. You're wasting 2 hours of TV on certain things that will not move the needle just to be relevant. And I'm not knocking women's sports at all. It's just that it does not move the needle. If anything, it pushes people away. There's a small niche of people that want to watch that, and it's not hardcore wrestling fans from back in the day that pay their money to go see it. I'm sorry, it's just how it is.
But I think part of the problem is you have, like, maybe 6 to 8 girls that can really, really work, and then the rest of them, they're trying to force them down your throat, but they're all green. The problem with those matches is you can't have them all in a match all at the same time and expect it to be a good match.
How is a woman's War Games match going to ever compare to a men's War Games match? They could have the most epic match they could, and all the guy's going to do is get out the blade or get a little rough.
Yeah, we'll give the girls credit. They can jump off the top rope without getting hurt.
That's true.
Off the top of the cage.
Even if you're so NXT has an all-star cast, who's who of women wrestlers. Those women could hang with anybody. But like you said, they're never going to headline. Now, if you had Mommy and Stephanie Vaquer do a main event, I would pay to see that, Andy. I'm just going to say, I would pay to see that. All right. Y'all have my two favorites in the same ring. I would pay to see it. But is it going to be a good match? Like if you had, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, good? No, it's not. It'll never be that, man. And I shared that meme with the group chat where it was like the highest paid female wrestler makes like what the average male jobber, or half of what the average male jobber makes, So you got Rhea Ripley or Liv making what who's a thought a jobber, just somebody who's just Otis. They're making half of what Otis makes. So TKO as a corporation can throw a women's match out and make it run for an hour and make a shit ton of money off the fans, right? Because you got everybody in attendance and not have to pay the stars that much. But if they put a bunch of jobbers in that match, a bunch of male wrestlers, then now it's a bean counting thing, is money. So that's why we're getting so much female wrestling. And WWE, I don't know what Shawn Michaels' deal is, man, but this dude keeps going out and signing nothing but female independents to come to NXT. NXT is like 80% women. Straight up. So
they probably got the word from above that they need to get the division going equal to the men.
Well, NXT might as well be Glow Wrestling, because there's like 3 or 4 women's matches every Tuesday.
Well, like we said before, give them their own show.
Yeah.
If that, I'm sure people are really into it. Other people must have different opinions than we do, obviously, but if they have their own show and
it's a money making thing,
they can do it, and the numbers are there, Give them their own show. They got enough belts. They got enough girls.
Jesus, and they've added like 2 belts over the last.
there.
They've added 2 belts over the last like 4 months.
Yeah.
I'm going to interject right there. Bill Burr says it perfectly. Why does the WNBA need to get propped up by the NBA? Because they don't draw and women don't put their money where their mouth is. That sounds ugly, but that's just pure business. That's the truth. You know what I mean? Like, look, we want to have equality in sports, right? Being serious now. Like, I'm not trying to be a jerk. Look, if they want equality in sports, go really support your people.
You wanted this league, go watch it.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing about it is that so, like, but I mean, my question is that, well, pull the numbers on who's actually in the crowd, right? There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with trying to actually get female viewers and get female fans. There's nothing wrong. It's 50%. It's 50% of your viewership. The NFL does it all the time. Why do you think that they've created all this offensive stuff and everything like that? So there's nothing wrong with that. But is it really driving viewership to the WWE? That's my question.
Bring back Hollywood and Vine, the greatest globe tag team ever.
I ain't talking.
Now you're talking, Shaggy.
Hey, Eric Bischoff showed up on NXT last week, and it was the lowest rated NXT all year.
You know what? That's disappointing because there's a part of him that could really pop NXT if done right. You know, he could take some. They could have him be like a low end manager for trying to finagle guys to sign contracts, or his character could be influencing young talent into bad business and things like that. They could have like an evil manipulating Eric Bischoff. Like, I'm not a manager. I'm not trying to give you advice, but I helped prop up WCW for 86 weeks and blah blah blah. He could have fun with that. 83.
Honestly, I think Bischoff taking over NXT and getting rid of the campiness of NXT and make it more like raw and more real, kind of like how AEW does things. Because let's be honest, NXT is full of a bunch of like shticks, acts, and like weird shit. It's got a lot of weird shit going on.
I disagree with you, Brad. Because AEW, those promos, if you go back to the cocaine era of WWE and when it was WWF and back to NWA, come on, man. Like, none of those guys, it's so poor. It's so poor. It's so piss poor.
What I'm saying, if they bring in Bischoff and just make it add a layer of realism to NXT, I think NXT would explode.
I don't disagree with it. I mean, Bischoff's good for business.
Yeah, we're agreeing to disagree, man.
No. What I'm saying is like Bischoff is good for business.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean,
NXT is like super campy. Like, it is like Chase U, super stupid. That stupid cup that they compete for, Catch Crew, whatever they call themselves. Like, they got a bunch of stupid groups on NXT. Like, bring somebody in, make it real. Ava, The Rock's daughter, is kind of running that shit to the ground. You know what I mean? We got NXT needs a refresh, big time.
So
it's funny is they always like to talk ratings when it comes to wrestling, but like in a modern day with streaming and half the people don't have cable anymore, and like, how you really judging who's watching what? Like, I think like freaking more than 50% of the people are fucking stealing it. So it's like, you can't tell who's watching what.
I don't even know who pays for my Peacock. I don't know how we have that subscription.
Well, two quick things. Speaking of streaming, when Raw goes to Netflix, Nick Khan had put out a press release saying that the TV rating is not changing going to Netflix, which I was a little disappointed in. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, see if it gets a little bit more raunchy or what. But
what's the point of going to Netflix then?
I know I'm a little disappointed. I'm not saying I wanted over the top stuff, but
Thomas, money, buddy,
money.
Yeah, but it's supposed to take us out of the PG era.
We have a light. It's all about the money.
But here's the thing. But here's the thing about it is that they'll start it off exactly how it is.
What's that? They're going to start what off?
They're going to start it off exactly how it is.
Is that a Snickers bar?
No, it's not. Shaggy, make sure you flip it the right side.
Nougat.
Nuts.
Nougat first.
Oh goodness. But no, but my thing is that like, look, they're gonna build it the way that they should. They're not gonna like make it pop in the first week, like, but they'll gradually build it, and then after 30 days they'll figure out whether or not they have viewership or not, and then they'll take it and they'll go to the Attitude Era, and that's what they're gonna do. I mean, because they're gonna figure out that people aren't gonna pay for it. People aren't gonna pay an extra $6 a month to watch something
The
that's
same shit.
the same stuff. They're not going to do it. So it's going to do that, but they have to play the game.
I use the professor's login for my Netflix, so
Listen,
I don't even pay for it.
I'm curious. Does the thought of Saturday night's main event intrigue anybody with
Nope.
it coming back at all? Even that Jesse's going to be on?
I don't really watch for Jesse.
I'm excited because I want to see where they take this KO and Cody Rhodes feud, especially with Seth Rollins promo on Monday night this week. Killed it. There's all this like shit going down with Seth Rollins, KO, Drew McIntyre. Maybe they're forming another Shield to take down Roman Reigns. I don't care. I don't know. I like the direction of it. Seth Rollins said there's not a true heel. He volunteers himself to be the heel. Kevin Owens has been talking all this shit, cutting great promos. I'm going to see where they go with it. I hope it doesn't turn into some just bullshit match like it was 4 or 5 PLEs ago when Cody Rhodes was like, "Hey, Kevin, you're a great wrestler and a great guy. You deserve a main event." And then they get the first match of the night.
Well, even the stuff with Jesse, like,
Yeah,
how long's Jesse been out of the game? Like,
dude, for a long ass
old
time.
now. Like, what do you think he's going to come in and be Jesse from the '80s? He's
I'm
not even
hoping so.
the shit that he used to say before.
Maybe I'll watch.
Like, so out of touch when we're watching it. There's going to be like,
Yeah,
no, he fucking sucks.
yeah.
Brad, we were talking this week, and you were talking about how we're going to have to change the schedule of the podcast the week of Saturday night's main event. Would you like to bring the fellas up to speed on that?
What did bro? I don't remember saying shit like I have fucking adult ADHD.
You're like, we're gonna have to change the date of the podcast because
yeah, we can't do a Saturday because it's Saturday night main event next week, right?
Well, what
Isn't it
time
next week?
does it come on? Does it come on at 8 or does it come on at 11:30 like it used to?
I think it comes on at 8 my time. It's in
Okay.
San Antonio. I don't know.
All right.
I'll have to
Okay.
check.
We will check this week coming up, and we will work around that because we got to get the rebuttal to this whole Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, I'm missing NXT deadline right now, so we could podcast.
I'm missing 2 championship
I'm
games.
missing
Way
that.
better than any type of wrestling.
You are not missing nothing right now. Yeah, I guarantee you, you are not missing nothing. Speaking of not missing nothing, we're gonna move on.
Thank God.
I'm the professor.
God, I mean, like 20 minutes on wrestling? Come on, man.
Oh, Scotty's not happy. You know that.
15 of
Yeah,
our 20
Scotty
people
is
sit there.
punching the wall right now.
Thomas,
Scotty slammed a white
Let's
monster.
just say something about the Celtics to make Scotty happy, will you?
yeah.
Punching the drywall.
Thomas, you want to save us as usual?
What are we doing?
Tom's shitty
Tom
picks.
just
Let's
stepped
go.
in about 15 minutes ago to save us.
Alrighty. Tom Shitty Picks is brought to you by Brock Street Brewing Company, located at 244 Brock Street South in Whitby, Ontario. Everything is brewed in-house, including their hard iced teas, their beers, vodka sodas, and their hard seltzers. So if you're in the Whitby area, go check them out and tell them the 1973 podcast sent you.
All right, have at it, Thomas.
All right. This week here, I don't really know who's in the playoffs yet, so I'm going to go with just a player again in the fantasy football. I'll go the NFL. This week here, it's kind of cherry picking, but I'm going with Joe Burrows against the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys suck.
No, we
Cowboys,
don't do that.
Cowboys are 13th in the league right now in passing defense. Joe Burrows is, if he was on any other team, he'd be up there for the MVP. He's got 30 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's thrown for 3,400 yards, I think.
I think he throws at least 3, I think, against Dallas's defense.
Tommy, if I knew you were going to cut up the Cowboys, I would have started talking about tag team wrestling for another 15 minutes.
Well, I know
Yeah.
if you did that, I just would have signed off and sent Tom my picks.
No, you're going to stand on the sideline and wait for the hot tag, motherfucker.
Nope. No, I'm not. I got bigger fish to fry. This is way better football than listening
He
to
wants a
talk about
glizzy.
wrestling.
He wants a glizzy, not
Oh,
a hot
Ryan,
dog.
And Ryan, you do realize the sound effect that you heard, that was from Caddyshack.
No shit.
And wants to watch college football with a Snickers bar alone.
Hey,
The
everybody
correct
shut up.
way.
Tom's talking.
Bumps on the top, not bumps on the bottom.
Tommy,
Like,
Oh,
back to you.
Come on, Thomas, let's go.
I just gave you my pick.
No, I thought we were talking sports about some NFL hit that everybody wants.
Yeah.
Boy,
Oh,
Oh, we're blasting. We're blasting.
This past weekend, Aziz Al-Shahir hit Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence slid a little bit late, but Shazier came in and hit him up high, knocked him pretty much out cold, and he went stiff and started a huge brawl. Shazier now has been suspended 3 games.
Let's, fellas, let's go.
I mean, he's a repeat offender, so that's the reason why I think.
13 different times. And
Yeah, like it's not like a first shot. Like, oh no, what did I do?
My theory on that is, was it dirty? Yes. Do you want that guy on your team? Yes. It's football.
Every team needs some assholes. Every team needs a couple assholes.
God damn, Shaggy.
I ain't fucking lying.
You're not.
So we're maxed out on podcast assholes, I'll tell you that.
yeah, there's 6 out of 6. Actually, 5 out of 6. Tom's the only nice one.
that's right, damn it.
Yeah, Tom's my best friend.
We're
Tom's the
talking
only nice
about
one.
long-term storytelling. We're waiting for that slow build, right, Tom?
Yes.
It's a heel turn.
No, like
Turn.
I'm definitely going on the route of, I think it was dirty. I don't know if you guys agree.
Yeah.
But
No.
I'm going.
I
My
think-
rating is that was 8.2 on the dirty scale.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I know he went for a tackle, but he definitely attempted to get out of the way. He did not at all attempt to get the fuck out of the way.
Whoa. Time out.
What?
Look, he slid late. That's his fault. And the thing about it is that what was he supposed to do? Blow him up with his head? Then he's going to get even more fined. He's going to get more suspension. So he brought his forearm up, right? I don't understand what everybody's getting all upset. He's essentially getting penalized for playing football too hard. Okay, that's what's going on here.
As we've
Right.
said before, it's all about the money. Yet the
It
league
happens.
That's right. It's all about the money.
$250 million assets because nobody's coming to see Mac Jones play. And
No, that's true, Thomas. You are not wrong in that, and that's the thing about it. That's why they've legislated all of these penalties and all this stuff to protect the quarterbacks, and that's a fact.
I don't care
How
if
can-
Trevor
how can
Lawrence
you get around that. It's the truth, and it's okay. But the thing about it is that he slid late. It's on Trevor Lawrence that he slid late. All these quarterbacks that dance out of bounds and like fake like they're going to go out of bounds, and all of a sudden they stay in play, and then all of a sudden the defensive guys looks like an idiot. No, well, maybe for the first time somebody said, you know something, I'm not going to put up with that shenanigans anymore.
Well, let's say when did they play? When did they play Kansas City? Because I want to see fucking Mahomes fake slide and get tattooed.
And the thing about it is that funny story. The GOAT even said that. He didn't really find all that dirty. And
Protect
the thing
yourself.
about it is that some people said that, Tom Brady, all these rules were made about him. Well, if you think about it, there was a play in Buffalo that Brady got his head taken off and he jumped right back up and got back in the game. Just saying. And so, the thing about it is that, look, there's nothing wrong with protecting your multi-million-dollar quarterbacks. There's nothing wrong with that. It's part of the game. People are not going to see the backups. Thomas, to your point, nobody's going to see Mac Jones. You're absolutely correct. They're not. But the thing about it is, the last time I checked, it's still football. They're a multi-billion-dollar company, and the thing is that it's still football. And the thing is like it's a football play. It's on Trevor Lawrence to get down. If you're going to give yourself up, give yourself up. And the thing about it is, he could have lunged forward with his head, and he would have come right across his back, and he would have been down that way.
It does drive me nuts
His
that they
head-
give these guys. It drives me nuts to give these guys like a fucking strike zone to hit the quarterback,
Yeah.
and the fucker's moving. It's not like he's staying still; he's moving. I'm like, oh my word! How are you supposed to hit that?
And like, look, the six of us know. Look, none of us were Division I athletes by any means of the imagination, right?
Fuck you.
Hey, I'm just calling a spade, man.
Hey, if they had Division I kickball, I'd have been somebody.
I don't know. I played kickball about a year and a half ago. It's not.
I have
back in
something
the
to
day.
say though, Ed. I have something to say.
You
Of
do?
all the NFL quarterbacks, Trevor Lawrence probably has the best hair.
He
Like,
does.
there is that.
Those fucking golden locks. Like, how long does it take him to wash his hair?
Hey,
every day?
sunshine.
How much
Yeah.
time does he take for hair care?
You.
And is that
Brad,
factored into his contract with the Jaguars?
A lot longer than me.
He's after that endorsement like Troy Polamalu.
Me
Yeah,
too,
he's
buddy.
He used the Blur
I
Plus.
don't know. He probably has Pantene here. You never know.
Why do you think we all wear hats on this podcast? Because none of us are excelling in the Trevor Lawrence hair department.
Brad, that's not a precursor for your tinfoil hat segment, is it?
Oh, it could be.
Oh, hold that
What?
thought.
I think it's time.
Are we
Don't we have to
going
do
there?
football picks?
Wait, we got to do football picks though first. Come on now.
Oh, Shaggy just spoiled his tinfoil hat.
What
What
the fuck? Don't tease me.
He's screaming.
Thomas,
Actually, Brad, that's actually pretty quiet for him, to be honest with
Yeah, that's my inside voice.
you. Brad, I lived with the man for a year. That's
do you-
his
do you
quiet
have
voice.
football
That's his
picks this
inside
week,
voice.
Thomas?
What's that in?
Do you
Andy?
have football picks this week.
Absolutely. So
Okay.
going into this past week, we had some really good weeks. Ed, 15-1 this week. Me and Mr. Branco went 14-2. Andy went 13-3, and Brad and Shaggy went 8-8.
How'd I go 8-8? I told you to make my picks the same as Andy's.
That's for this coming week here. You're doing game. These
No.
games already happened, dude.
That was for the week I missed.
So tomorrow.
Oh, he's throwing curveballs again. He's throwing out numbers at
No,
me.
because I didn't make my picks last week, so I told you to make mine whatever Andy picked. Because I'm going to be on this one to pick.
Bullshit.
You texted me yesterday.
Bullshit.
The games that already happened.
Was it?
Yes, the game's
Oh.
already happened.
The games we picked last week don't get played till tomorrow.
Yes.
I have adult ADHD, y'all. I don't fucking know.
I'm with you. I watch games. Like, did I pick that team? Shit.
Yeah,
what
I
week
don't
is it?
fucking remember.
Well,
I'm the same
Jackie,
way. I'm the same way.
You
Brad,
went
you've been listening. Brad's been listening to Creed too much on rewind in the headphones.
Brad
Yeah,
said,
it was like number 5 on my Spotify
Brad
playlist.
said, give me all home teams. And Shaggy said, give me all away teams except whoever's playing Dallas, which was an away team anyway. But
That's how much I watch.
so
Oh, well, it doesn't matter.
right now, the standings. Hold on, I got to find it.
Uh-oh.
All right, here we go. Standings right now, as we stand. Andy's in first place. He is 135-60.
I'll acknowledge the tribal chief.
Ryan is 132-63. I'm 129-66. Brad is 126-69, and Ed is 126-69, and
Oh,
Shaggy
hard.
is 13-59.
See,
Brad,
average.
Brad, I find it funny that you and I have 69 losses, don't you?
Yeah, 69. I fell hard. Fell hard.
You know what I think the best part is?
What's that?
Since we stopped going full schedule picks, and we've dumbed it down to just the 5, and then we do the call in later. Brad's going in the shitter.
Yep.
That's because I got my days mixed up last week. I thought I gave him for I don't know what I was doing.
You texted me. You texted it. Actually, I think it was yesterday. You said
Wait,
Yeah.
are we only doing 5? We're doing all of them.
we're doing 5, and then we'll do. You just send me the rest of your pick.
Fuck.
So, what week is it, Tom? So you can bring Brad up to speed.
Yeah,
This
picking
what
for we're picking for week 15.
Brad,
I
I'm
don't
with
even
you.
know.
Brad, I'm with you. Don't worry about it. I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm
We've
so
only been
confused.
doing this for like what, 8 weeks? I mean,
I haven't looked at my fancy team in like 3 weeks. Who gives a fuck?
all
I've
right.
been confused for 8 weeks.
The five games I picked this week, there are 3 really good ones. First game, Detroit Lions at home against the Buffalo Bills. Andy.
Uh, Lions, I guess.
Alrighty, Shaggy.
Well, yeah, I'll go Lions. I have no idea on this one.
Alrighty, Ryan.
In Buffalo,
Nope. Detroit.
No.
It's in Detroit.
I'll go Lions in.
Alrighty, Brad.
It's at Detroit, but they barely scraped by last week.
A good
I think
Green Bay team.
I think they're good. I think they're beatable. I'm gonna go with the Bills. I like the Bills on this one.
Alrighty, Ed.
I'm going to go with the House of Tatanka, please.
Who the hell's that?
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
right.
Have you never
Tatanka.
watched Dances with Wolves?
Dance with Wolves.
Bro?
We'll
I
review
fell
that
asleep
next
after the
week.
after the first 3 hours of the movie, I fell asleep. So
Oh,
Hey, same with
I give you
Shawshank Redemption.
10 out of 10. So, I mean, what do you want?
Yeah,
I'm going with Buffalo as well in that game. Game
Nice.
2, another pretty good game. The Battle of Pittsburgh and Philly. Philly at home against Pittsburgh. Andy.
You know, I love some Philadelphia.
Alrighty, Shaggy.
I'm going with the Uggles too.
Alrighty, Mr. Branco.
You know, I hate some Philadelphia, but I'm taking them.
Alrighty, Brad.
I hate them, but I have to appreciate their spaghetti policy. So I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles.
The fuck does
Alrighty.
that mean?
Ed.
You got to watch the show, buddy.
I don't know. I mean, Torts isn't walking out that door. I mean, if you heard his comments from the game earlier today, but I'm going with the Eagles.
Alrighty, I'm going with the Philly as well. Third
Can I
game.
get Tommy, can I get a hockey timeout?
Yep.
All right, hockey timeout. Tort's coming out and blasting the Bruins about diving, and Andy's boy Mishkov diving all over the fucking place. Fantastic. That was all. AC. Now that's your guy in Philly. Was he
It is
diving
like,
or
what's
was
his
he not
face from
diving?
Fat Albert right now?
Well, seeing that I've been at 3 rinks since 11 o'clock this morning, I haven't watched any of the games. I'm trying to stay away from any stuff so I can watch the replay. But
Dude, you're gonna screw up my shout out now. Oh well.
you know what? Whatever. Fuck it. At this,
All right.
at this point.
Time in.
Time in. Hey,
Game on. Game on.
Game on.
Game 4. LA Chargers at home against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Andy.
Fuck. Give me the Chargers. Fuck it.
That was your moment, Andy.
Shaggy.
After that Michigan Ohio State game, I'm going with Harbaugh.
Alrighty. Mr. Branco.
Bah.
Alrighty. Brad.
Tampon Bay, baby.
Alrighty. Ed.
Ed, you're
Go,
now
Chargers, go. And who's got it better than we do? Nobody.
Are you talking about the podcast in general?
Yeah.
Who's
I'm
got it
going-
better than us?
In Baker we trust. I'm going with Tampa Bay in that game.
My man knows his football.
All right, last game. Houston Texans at home against the Miami Dolphins. Andy.
Ooh.
Texans.
All righty. Shaggy.
Anybody hurt I should know about?
I'm not telling you. This is competition.
no cheating. No cheating.
I guess I'll go with Dolphins. I don't know.
I will
We're
tell you.
behind anyway.
I will tell you. Al Shire has been suspended.
For 3 games.
Yeah.
We're playing football.
Oh, that's right. He plays
tomorrow.
for the Texans. I'll go with
Yeah.
I'll go with Miami.
All righty. Mr. Branco.
After what Shaggy just said, sounds like he doesn't know what he's talking about, so I'll go the opposite.
All righty.
I didn't pick the Cowboys.
Whoa.
Brad.
I've been kind of disappointed in the Houston Texans this season. CJ
So are
Stroud's
they.
kind of been in a slump. And since Tua came back, and hopefully he doesn't get concussed because that would like end his life. Hey, good thing that Al Shadir or whatever his name is suspended. 'Cause if he did that to Tua, we would witness the end
It's a
of Tua.
funeral. It's a funeral.
It would be a funeral on live TV. I'm gonna go with Miami.
All righty. Ed.
Going with the Texans, baby.
All righty. I'm going to go with Miami in this game. I think.
Why?
Why? Because I said so.
Oh,
Last game.
Tom coming out of the box.
Denver Broncos at home against the Indianapolis Colts. Andy.
Broncos.
All righty. Shaggy.
I gotta go with Bo Nix. I actually believe in him.
All righty. Mr. Branco.
Yep, Broncos.
All righty. Brad.
I like Bo Nix. I like Indy's defense, but I'm gonna stick with Denver.
All righty.
Denver.
Ed.
Going with Denver. Sean Payton, baby.
All righty. Clean sweep for the podcast. I've got Bo Nix in my fantasy pool, so I got to go with him. All right, AC. That's the 5 games.
All right, so we're talking some tinfoil hat, and who's got the lead in for that, some bitch?
Right here.
Let's go, Professor.
Brad.
Whoa.
Shaggy.
Tinfoil hat.
Represent.
Shaggy, I mean, who are you, like Colonel Clink?
Brad's tinfoil hat
Oh,
conspiracy
yeah.
of the week is brought to you this week by the book Loving Elliot, a fitting tribute to undying love written by our very own Andy Clark. Available on Amazon. Elliot was the oldest special needs Jack Russell Terrier when he passed away at the age of 21.
Stop being cheap, buy a book.
Buy a book,
You're
you
like
cheap
Colonel-
bastards.
Colonel Clink, man.
So, Bradford, you have the floor.
The floor. All right. Do we have screen share? Yes.
Yep.
All right. Let me make sure my PowerPoint. I made a PowerPoint this week, y'all. Let's make sure this thing is good to go.
It's getting
All
real.
right. Oh, shit. Hold on. I got to screen share first and then
Okay.
do that.
Yep. Stuff.
Here we go.
Yep.
All right. So there's this huge conspiracy right now about Holly Weird and the blonde hair thing. Like people
What'd you
get
read?
blonde, they bleach their hair blonde and it like makes them go cuckoo. Kanye West, perfect example, right? We've all heard and seen his downfall. Justin Bieber dyed his hair, bleached it blonde. He's involved with Pizzagate. I mean, I think he's kind of like an innocent in this because he was, taken advantage of at the Diddy parties and Pizzagate.
Snicker
But
bars.
nonetheless, like bleached it, and you could say, I mean, basically cuckoo. Pete Davidson, no explanation on this one. This guy literally dated a Kardashian. She's on the list. I forgot to add her to the PowerPoint. Also bleached her hair. Kim K anyway. But after he did his thing with the Kardashians, he's now trying to remove all his tattoos. Look how tatted up he is. This dude went from being a promising young comic on SNL, got caught up, bleached his hair, sold his soul to the devil. Now he's part of Holly Weird. Miley Cyrus and Lindsay Lohan, same thing. Both of them, cuckoo, as soon as they bleached their hair. Forget this guy's name, but he was in Knocked Up and some
Jonah.
of those. Huh?
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill, yeah. Dude, certifiably insane now. Like they turned this guy into something wacky. Bleached his hair, lost all his weight. He's not funny anymore. Doesn't even make movies or nothing. Now the last one, we gotta get the blessing because it gets the topic of conversation gets a little adult and risque. But the next slide, I'm gonna shift gears to the pearl necklace conspiracy, where in Hollywood, there a lot of men are wearing not the pearl necklace on Urban Dictionary. I could bring that up, but I think we'll get X'd out on and shadow banned on YouTube. But actual pearl necklaces, and they have these men wear it, and they like emasculate them, and make them wear goofy outfits and feminine outfits. So the next photo, because this is a wrestling podcast, sometimes look what they did to my man Batista, kind of turned him into a middle-aged woman wearing a pearl necklace. So
He is
that
60.
what's that?
He is like 60.
He's 6 feet.
60.
Oh, 60.
0.
So that's my conspiracy this week. The bleached hair thing is trending on TikTok. The pearl necklace thing is trending. It's kind of how they emasculate men. It's like a initiation thing. The bleached hair thing, they're saying it's like, oh, they bleach their hair, they go crazy, they go cuckoo, they can act up. Another kind of initiation ritual. On the flip side of it, though, they'll have bleached hair, and when they get caught up in some shit, kind of like Ellen DeGeneres being caught up in the Diddy stuff right now, they'll shave it off and just go back really quick to their roots or their what Ellen did. She just shaved it all off. She's got like brown hair and it's like shaved, almost buzz cut. she also lives in Europe now, where she can't be extradited. But that's a
And
different podcast.
and she's related to the Rothschilds and the throne. So I mean,
Yeah, so there's a lot with that. But anyway, so that's the thing this week, man. It's kind of short and sweet. Blonde hair. I thought it was really interesting because I never really like picked up on it till I saw it on TikTok, and then I started looking at it. And the more stars you Google with blonde hair, bleach blonde hair, like the deeper the rabbit hole gets. So go do your own research, man. But it pretty wacky stuff.
I'm going to throw this one to the professor. Thomas, what's your take on the hair care products?
That is a very interesting thing, and it's probably some of it's true. But if you looked at all the ones he just showed, they've all allegedly done some narcotic of some sort. So that could have helped with the insanity a little bit.
Ed, thoughts? Shaggy?
I'll say the Lindsay Miley thing. I blame the parents. They're fucked.
I mean, I look, man.
Top shelf commentary, Shaggy.
They're fucked.
I mean, I just look at it from the standpoint of like, as far as like the Bautista thing. I mean, that definitely is a huge red flag. I mean, the dude is gigantic, huge athlete.
Was.
And even though Jim Cornette said he was really stiff, and they tried to give him a big push and everything like that, and it's sad to see how they have all these humiliation rituals and stuff like that. I mean, what's wrong with helping somebody that has like great ideas and has talent, and just helping them rise to the top to use their best of abilities? I mean, why do you have to put these rituals behind it? I don't understand it. There's enough cruelty, in the world and everything like that with how real life really is. Do you really need to do this? I guess that's my point. And it's just sad to see somebody that worked that hard in the gym and that type of thing get made to look like that, because that's how he's going to get to the next level. I don't agree with it, but that's my thought. I mean, because bottom line is that there's millions and millions of people out there that have great talent that never get to go to the top of the mountain. And and if you have an opportunity to go to the top of the mountain and they want to humiliate you, I don't agree with that. That's not my thing. I mean, there's enough crap in the world and enough shit.
So you're saying, Ed, that there was no humiliation ritual to come on the podcast ever?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you guys have humiliated me plenty of times as we were growing up, so it's not a big deal. I mean, whatever it is.
This is how we need to break big, though, right? One of us needs to bleach their hair blonde. Someone else needs to wear a pearl necklace, and we'll blow up.
I don't have hair, and I don't have enough money to buy.
Shaggy
will wear the pearl necklace. Shaggy will, and the Phantom said he'll bleach his hair.
That's fine. As long as I don't have to wear a pearl necklace, I'm good.
I said you have to wear the pearl necklace.
No, I bleach my hair.
The old-fashioned way.
Go fashion way.
From the top?
What are you going to use? Some Sun-In or something?
Clorox.
I think with this one, I'm going more of a bunch of middle-aged people trying to be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many things going on right now with we talk about it every week with these conspiracy theories. I am bombarded every week with tidbits of all these little conspiracies that I follow just blown up from different angles. It's like if you have useless amounts of time to indulge in these rabbit holes, I mean, you could spend a whole day going down these different paths of things, and it's one after the other, and one door opens to another conspiracy theory, whether it's alien based or whether it's Hollywood based or underwater sea based, let's just say. So yeah, there's quite a bit. I mean, just like the movie thing, I think the conspiracy segment of the show with the tinfoil hat, we could go so many different ways with different things, but it is pretty eye opening, and Brad does a fantastic job with his PowerPoints, bringing it to the table of the 1973 podcast. So, fellas, let's bring it home for another week. We're coming up on episode 100, and I need some ideas of what you guys want to do for episode 100.
Ed wants to eat a Snickers bar.
Anyways, let's go to some shout outs. Phantom, what do you got this week?
I'm gonna shout out my new favorite person for this week. My man Juan Soto coming to the Red Sox. I can feel it. $700 million. Hook it up. Make me love baseball again. I need a reason to watch.
For a career 284 hitter, good for you.
Top five easy.
Ed, you didn't have a shout out last week, so you got to bring the heavy this week. What do you got?
I'm gonna go heavy. I'm gonna go heavy on this one. So so I'd like to thank 4 out of the 5 people on this panel for 9 years ago this week. Just gonna read something that somebody here that's that's sitting to my. He said, "Just want to express my feelings to my brother Ed and his family. Had a part of my childhood, and we've been closer and closer ever since. I'm thinking of you, my friend, and kind words your mom expressed to me about my dad's passing. Heavy week for me this week. So the 4 out of the 5, I appreciate you boys. Brad, sorry you weren't there for that shit show, but these 4 boys, they mean a lot to me. So thank you, fellas.
Jaggy, what do you got this week?
Yeah, on that damper note, I'm going back to the Juan Soto shit. Don't sign the fucker. Grab 3 other guys that are decent. I'll take 3 of them compared to him. Pitchers, fielders,
you're no fun.
anything.
You're no fun. It's not your money.
I'm responsible. Give me 3 players compared to that fuckface.
Shout out to my daughter's team. They went all the way to Vermont, finally brought home a gold medal. I was happy. She was player of the game for game 3. All good stuff. There was a lot of snow up there. It froze my ass off, but it was all worth it. So credit to those girls from Massachusetts. Go get them. Thomas, what do you got this week?
Well, Andy, I'm going to do a little spoiler alert. So if you want to block your ears, this is part of my slow heel turn right here.
America's team.
A shout out to the fearless leader for actually showing his face today after his Flyers blew two goal leads today against the Bruins.
OT.
America's team.
Bruins, you're right.
You have the floor to bring us home.
Oh, so my first shout out is to Shaggy. You actually don't have to get close to the camera. We see you just fine. And you also don't have to scream into the mic. I hear you just fine, buddy. You're good to go.
Yes.
That's his inside voice, Brad. You have no
I'm
idea.
fucking critical.
I love you, man. I love you.
Fucking people in the South are soft. No wonder you lost the fucking war. Fucking cleaners.
You're getting the shadow ban for that one. My second shout out is to none other than the professor, because I watched him this whole night, this whole hour and 14, straight faced. Just, I don't know. He's holding it together somehow. I don't know how, but I appreciate you, man. You always bring whatever circle of wackiness. So on my screen, you're like the bottom middle, and you got all of us around you. So it's like all angles is coming at you, just wild, and you're just like holding strong.
Did he use 2 hands?
Yeah, 2 hands.
I'm full of cough medicine right now, so I'm like, the one eye is still open, and the other one's like, eh.
Oh, Shag, all you need is a Snickers bar flipped upside down.
Brad's 2-fisting, I was to say.
Tom, you hold it down. You're the true north, man. I appreciate it, dude. Appreciate it.
You should hear the conversation in my head, though.
I thought this week that Tom was in Florida and Ed was in Marion, because this week Ed's big and Tom looks small.
Yes, they flip.
I always say all the time when we need to bring it back, we kick it to Tom for him to bring us into a segment. And he always comes on just like going slowly with, okay, just right into no laughing, no nothing, just that straight calm buzz right there in the middle of everything. So Tommy, you're being acknowledged. You know what I mean? So
Throw it up.
we
Throw the ones up for Tom.
we always bring something.
Orange down, baby.
Yeah, bring something to the table every week, and I thought this week's episode was really good. So stay tuned for next week. So from us to you, we're out.